NH7 Weekender brings people together. And togetherness and unity of mind and soul is what will bring about peace. So whatever I learned, if I learned something to do with, say, Cliff Richard or Beatles or Rolling Stones, I was only singing what I heard on the radio. Right. In those days, when you went to a nightclub, you would see people actually dressing up to go. The men would be in suits and the women would be in their chiffon saris and well-coiffed hair. And, of course, I did notice that Devanand Saab and Navketan Unit, Adi Burman, they were all, Shashi Kapoor, they were all in the audience, yeah. After the show was over, Devanand Saab came up and said, Usha, you were fantastic, and I'd love you to sing in my project. I've never, ever been in the rat race for Hindi film music, though I do say I'd be so happy if I get more and more Hindi songs to sing. Okay. And I remember telling Amitabh Bachchan, you look so handsome in that lovely jacket that you've got. And he said, kya kare, unit ko wapas de dene ka. In his time, never got the kind of appreciation that he gets now.
Hello everyone, this is News 18 Sosha. I am Yatamanyu Narain and I'm with the legend and Padma Bhushan Usha Uthup ji, who's all set to serenade us all at an NH7 Weekender. So welcome to the show, ma'am.
Hi, namaskar, namaskaram, sat sri akal, salam alaikum. I'm so happy to be with you, Abhimanyu, and really, really happy to be on your channel. Really fantastic. And I'm more and more excited as the day grows nearer to be with NH7 Weekender.
Right, ma'am. So, NH7 Weekender is known for, bringing together diverse genres and, generations of artists. And as someone whose music transcends age groups, what excites you more about, performing at a festival that caters to such a wide audience?
I'll tell you what is really, really exciting for me is that most people don't expect even that just one second, I'll just put this on. Yeah, most people don't even expect that I'm going to be doing something really exciting, or they don't expect that I'm very excited about this. But truly for me, NH7 is really, really fantastic. So I need to say thank you to the organizers for doing this for me. And I'm so looking forward to having a really huge cracker of a show because, I probably would be filling in the... not filling in, completing the circle, because I would probably be the senior most artist and with the most different genres all in one. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Lovely, lovely. So, having witnessed the evolution of music festivals and live performances in India, how do you think, events like NH7 Weekender contribute to the growth of, independent and diverse music in the country?
Oh, hugely. Hugely, because every singer worth their salt is really looking, or every performer, or every musician, or every technician is looking towards NH7 for giving them something new, or for giving them something which they will be proud of, or which they want to be a part of. And so I think it's huge. I mean, it's really huge, and I think this will definitely go towards, and have festivals like this would definitely go towards promoting more and more. I'm a bit diffident about saying independent music or this or that or the other, because in India, the funny thing is that everybody always, when you talk about music, one has to clarify and say, is it filmy or non-filmy? These are the two first categories that you have to.
Right.
And then come in the West, there is only music.
Right.
There's no question of independent music and this music and that music. Yeah. Right. Now, in our country, it is filmy and non-filmic. And then in the non-filmic come the classicals, the North Indian classical, South Indian classical, then the bhajans, then there's the ghazal, so many things. Yeah. So when we talk about independent, I'm not so happy to say that it is promoting, that it will help promote independent music. What I do know is even bigger than that, what NH7 Weekender is going to do, or is doing, or has done so far. And all the festivals that will follow will be doing the same, is to bring like-minded people with souls and hearts and minds that get together. And you realize, I mean, we realized it during COVID. I mean, it was not just you or me who was going through it. The whole world went through it, right? And on a positive note, I would say the festivals like these festivals, bring the peoples of the world together.
Right.
That we're no different. I mean, we have different genres of music, and like-minded people coming together, all to listen to music, and all to listen to what other children, or I wouldn't use the word children, I would say the youth who are the audience. I mean, when they look around, or when you look around from the stage, it is something unbelievable. The kinds of peoples, or the kind of peoples that we see, is really so vast and so huge.
Yes.
I think that is so marvelous. And I think like that, I think NH7 Weekender brings people together. And togetherness and unity of mind and soul is what will bring about peace. So yes, it brings about people who would, if your music at that time, what you're singing, and the whole audience goes crazy about it. If it's a non-filmic music, then you would say it's independent music, which is fine. Or if it was a filmy song, then it's filmy song, and that's what's being promoted, and that's fantastic. Main thing is it brings about that feeling of togetherness, unity, and peace. Really.
Right. I think
that peace, which is what we really, really need now.
Yeah, that's the need of the, like you said.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, I mean, you began your career at Nine Gems in Chennai, and you later performed at iconic venues like Trinkas and Talk of the Town. What was the nightclub cultures like in India during the late 1960s and 70s?
What was the
nightclub culture like in India?
Nightclubs were marvelous at that time.
Right.
And I did a lot of nightclub singing. I started as you said, in Nine Gems. Right. And at that time, I was singing only jazz, folk, pop, rock. Right. And soon, because in those days, we had no television, no YouTube, no nothing. So whatever I learned was from the radio. And it was so amazing because radio has been my biggest inspiration. Radio Ceylon, radio,
yes.
BBC, Voice of America, the jazz English shows. And I learned all my songs from there. But singularly, Harry Belafonte has been my biggest hero and biggest inspiration. Right. But all without ever seeing them.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever I learned, if I learned something to do with, say, Cliff Richard or Beatles or Rolling Stones, I was only singing what I heard on the radio.
Nice.
And that was so marvelous. I remember we had to sometimes wait for over a week to get back that song so that I could write the lyrics correctly.
Right.
Yeah, because we had no reference, we had no Google, no nothing at the time. So I come from a time like that. And so for me to be able to sing Come Together of Beatles, we come on flat top, we come grooving up slowly, got to eyeball these. So to get the right words, it took me weeks to do that.
Right.
But by the time the Beatles came on, you could at least buy a music book in the music shop. But nightclub scene was absolutely marvelous.
Right.
People came to listen to good music.
Right.
People came to, and a funny thing I must tell you about this because you're so young. In those days when you went to a nightclub, you would see people actually dressing up to go. The men would be in suits and the women would be in their chiffon saris and well-coiffed hair. And, they really went out to have a good time. And it was a great big thing to go to a nightclub or a jazz club. So nightclub life was fantastic. But even now, when I go to Trinkas in Calcutta, it's still marvelous. I'm one of those you can never get a negative remark out of because I'm 100% positive person. I believe, I'm completely an optimist. Yeah.
Right. Right, right. So I've also read an iconic story about, how Dev Anand Saab discovered you during one of your performances
Yeah.
at the... So can you
It
take...
was it was in Oberoi
Yeah,
Intercontinental in Delhi,
yeah,
where I was singing with. I'm not quite sure whether it was with Benny Rosario that I was singing,
right.
or with a Sri Lankan band, Harold Senanaike. After the show was over, of course, I did notice that Devanand Saab and Navketan Unit, Adi Burman, they were all, Shashi Kapoor, they were all in the audience. Yeah. After the show was over, Devanand Saab came up and said, Usha, you were fantastic. And I'd love you to sing in my project, Hare Rama Hare Krishna. And that's how it happened.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
I came back to Bombay, and then the ball started rolling, and we did our rehearsals and things like that. It was really amazing.
Right.
But always remember that I was never, and I want to say this to the kids today, the benchmark is not, अच्छा तो playback singing कब करोगे आप? अच्छा तो कौन सी फिल्म में गा रही हो? That's not the benchmark for how good or how bad you are. Yeah, I think the most important thing, it's not how good or how bad, but how original you are.
You are.
And
Correct.
I'm 100% original. I've never copied a single soul, and I just do what I know. And I don't, as I said before also, I don't go out with the idea of being different.
Different.
I just go and do what
Your
I know
own
best.
thing.
My own thing. And I've been 100% honest about it. So, I've never ever been in the rat race for Hindi film music.
Right.
Though I do say I'd be so happy if I get more and more Hindi songs to sing. Because if you get more Hindi songs to sing, then one Hindi song has taken me maybe 750 shows,
Right.
So because I'm still singing Shansi, I'm still singing the Marudam, I'm still singing Ramba Ho, Koi Yahan Nache Nache. So there are so many songs I'm still singing only because of the film. So though I was never, I didn't get frustrated. People ask me, you didn't get so many chances in the Hindi film.
Right.
Were you ever frustrated? Were you ever sad that you didn't? I wasn't frustrated ever.
Right.
Ever. I was sad once in a way when a song was taken away from me, but that doesn't matter because I'm a basically happy person. I'm very comfortable in my skin, and I'm very grateful to God for whatever He's given me, because I do know that there are, say, for example, there are people who can do so many different kinds of songs, yeah? And I've always believed that you can't be like Shankar Mahadevan or Hariharan. No, you can't sing like, I know I can't ever sing like Lataji Mangeshkar or Shreya Ghoshal or Suniti or any of these, or Asha Bhosle. Nobody. But I can only sing myself, and I can do what I do.
Right.
And that's what's working. So it's okay. I don't need to try and do something because they're all such fantastic singers. Or why would you want to be like somebody? No, why would you ever want to be like somebody you can never hope to be? I've never even thought about it. Never even thought. Because I've made my limitations my strengths. I don't have that kind of range. So even now when I ring up in a hotel, I ring up somebody for a cup of coffee. They always say, "Good morning, sir." And I'm quite happy.
Oh.
Yeah, because I have a low voice so man's voice. So it doesn't make a difference to me. I really don't care.
You have rightly said that गाने गाने पे लिखा है गाने वाले का नाम in one of your previous interviews. So I think
absolutely.
Right.
So sometimes I feel that like Skyfall, people think that it's my song, and it is actually, because I've always said that the song is much bigger than the singer. Always. And there will always be somebody who's picked the song because they've loved the song. And why would you want to sing it like anybody else? Just sing it the way you know and the way you can. And it would be absolutely marvelous. I wish people would look at it that way, that honesty is the most important thing once you get on stage.
Interesting, ma'am.
Mm.
So, I mean, how did it feel to, perform as Usha Iyer on screen for Rain in Bombay to Goa? I mean, did it feel like a culmination of, your nightclub performances? And what was it like, working on a film that featured a young Amitabh Bachchan who would later become a mega star? Did you have any?
Oh, it was fabulous. But we were friends from Calcutta,
Okay.
Amitabh Bachchan and myself.
Okay.
So when we got this opportunity, or when I got this opportunity with R.D. Burman to do this role as myself with Aruna Irani and Amitabh Bachchan, we never ever thought that he was going to become such a superstar. Or that I remember we had some wonderful times during shooting. And I remember telling Amitabh Bachchan, "You look so handsome in that lovely jacket that you've got." And he said, "Kya kare, unit ko wapas de dene ka." Of course, today he can go to any fashion designer around the world, or even a designer factory, and buy it off and buy all the leather jackets he wanted. But yeah, it was a great feeling to be doing that gig with, Listen to the Pouring Rain, It's the Wrong Time, Married a Female Wrestler. So many beautiful songs. Fever, yeah.
Right.
So many songs, yeah.
So, both Pancham Da and Bappi Lahiri ji were true mavericks in music, very much like yourself. And, that era was marked by, bold experimentation. People used to experiment a lot, and that used to create a, conducive environment for a versatile artist like yourself. So
yes, but it was only for me that it really created. It was the atmosphere was conducive to that. But let me tell you something.
Right.
R.D. Burman, in his time, never got the kind of appreciation that he gets now.
Yeah.
He is, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, the most mixed, remixed, and re-remixed musician I've ever come across. But in those days, they thought, twist kare. They thought it was a rubbish song. There were so many songs that they thought was really they weren't willing to accept it. But today, everybody accepts.
But what do you think is the reason behind this non-acceptance at that time? I mean,
because it was different, so different. You see, I was lucky because of the fact that I always wore a sari and I was singing in English, whereas they were trying to break into a market which had people like Shankar Jaikishan and Lakshmikant Pyarelal. I mean, the real huge heroes like Shobhita, they were really big people. And, for R.D. Burman to come in with with a song like, dekhein zara, blah, 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 blah. It didn't make sense, I suppose, at that time. But my point is, even Bappi Lahiri is truly the king of disco here. There's no running away from it. And people who made fun of him at that time are eating humble pie. Because songs are still living and very much living, yeah. And as I said, the song is always bigger
than
the singer or the creator. I think about anybody. I mean, whether it was Beethoven or Mozart, I mean, their music lives on forever, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every orchestra is trying to play them and not necessarily think about them even. That's okay. So that's okay. But yes, I'm still saying that you need time. For any music to become a classic, you need time. So that is why today you have someone like R.D. Burman's song, which at that time probably didn't make such a big mark, but it did now. It does now because I include it in my medley as well, which will be there in NH7. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which says "Jaane Jaan Dhoondta Phir." What was so great? Yeah. What was so great about it at that time? Nobody thought it was something great, but today,
it's an iconic.
It's huge. It's huge.
Right.
So, aur ek main, aur ek tu, aur dekha na hai re, socha na hai re.
His entire palette is so diverse, ma'am.
But then it has to be given some time to become a hit.
Right.
Now Rambaho. When I sang it, probably everybody said, "What is a C-grade movie and rubbish song?" And whatever they may have said. They may have, I don't know. They probably didn't say it about me. They probably said it about the song. But today, after 40 years of Rambaho, it's still the most popular song on the song list. Yeah. Every disc that you go to is playing that.
Rambaho. Yeah.
And so many others like Koi Yahan Nache Nache. It needs time. You need time for something to become a classic. Otherwise, how would Beatles have become such a classic when they started? People like from good families didn't them because of their hairstyle and their funny way of singing. And, like I Wanna Hold Your Hand.
It was very, they were an unconventional band from that.
Yeah. So it's like that, but you needed time.
Right.
You needed time. As someone like Cliff Richard singing. Even today, when he sings, lucky lips are always kissing, lucky lips are always blue. Lucky lips will always find a pair of lips or two. I mean, I even remember it, by heart after how many years. But then at the time when it came on, people thought that it was a vulgar song, or, what is this about lucky lips, or, But today, if you say Cliff Richard, that's the song you think about. Yeah.
So, speaking of Bappi Lahiri ji, you might find it very interesting that your song Naakabandi, it holds a very special place in the hearts of people of my hometown, that is Allahabad. So, and it's an absolute staple for festive occasions, especially Holi.
Yes, Holi and Chhat Puja everywhere. Without Naakabandi, nothing happens.
Nothing happens. Like, even if you go to the YouTube comment section of that song, you'll find a flurry of comments from Allahabadis, showering their love and praise for the song.
I must sing this in NH7 and dedicate it to you. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, I want to know, how did Naakabandi come to life? What memories do you have of that song, creating that song?
Oh, memories of that song was quite unbelievable because I didn't even know that it was going to be Sridevi.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know. And all I knew was that, Bappi Lahiri depended a great deal on his father. We used to call him Operation Lahiri. His name is Operation. And we used to call him, Dada. He is the one who used to really inspire Bapida. Okay. So when Naakabandi came about, I remember Bapida telling me so clearly. He said, "Bas sirf aapke style mein ga ke chale jaiye, aur kuch nahi karna hai." I said, "What is it?" So he said, "Jaise aap gaenge, waise hi gaiye." So I said, "Okay." So he gave me this the line Naakabandi. I said, "Isko kaise gaun?" He said, "Treat it as a jaise aap jazz gana gaate hain na."
Okay.
Shooby-dooby-doo, ye sab lagate hain. Waise kuch gaiye. So I just asked him, how about breaking the word into akamaka nakamaka doom doom chakamaka akamaka nakamaka ding ding chakamaka maka nakamaka doom doom chakamaka akamaka naka 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 Nagabande 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 hey 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 Nagabande. I mean, I said it in parts, and besides him, all the musicians stood up and they were so thrilled. They couldn't believe that this is what I was doing. And they said, okay. And what a beat it's got, huh? What a groove.
That song has like made my childhood. I used to dance like crazy whenever that song used to come up. And I didn't know the meaning of Naakabandi. So I used to think it means like you have to like close your like nose. and I used to like dance like that. But I have such fond memories of that song. Such an icon.
Such an iconic song. So yes, it will be there for any Weekender.
I wanted to know from you, where do you think, Bollywood music stands today when it comes to experimenting with new genres? Do you feel like we are taking enough creative risks, or are we holding back in the fear that the audience won't like it?
No. I don't believe that the audience won't like it.
Right.
First of all, this blame game has been going on for a long time. The audience, they won't like anybody but Lataji Mangeshkar, but then you never gave it a chance. Na? Give something a chance. Give something a chance, then it'll work probably. Right. And so, you're blaming the audience, and the audience says, oh, picture wale humko kuch naya dete hain. Yeah, right. So this goes on and on and on. That's okay. But no, today's experimental music, I don't know what you mean by experimental music, because I only know good music and bad music.
Right.
And I think, the experimentation that people are trying to do today, they are worried because today's game or today's the new, it's so fast, life is so fast that everybody is worried that by the time this comes out, and have you noticed in today's life, you only remember the sthai. You don't even remember the antara because the song doesn't even go into that. There's a song which even I did. I didn't even realize that I had sung the song. It goes, One Day. Have you heard that? One Day?
Yes, yes.
What a beautiful song that is. What a beautiful song for Anupam Kher I did.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. But if you don't give it airplay, then it doesn't go nowhere.
Right.
So everybody who's trying to experiment
Right.
is waiting. Have you seen my Tilasmi Bahe?
Oh, yeah.
You must see. That's really beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful song.
So
Right.
I just wanted to do it. There was no money involved, no nothing. Just my asking Sanjay Leela Bansali, please let me use some of your clippings. And then they made the video for me. Okay. And he loved the version that I gave. Now, so now the thing is that if it doesn't get airplay, nobody will even know that I sang the song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that is what is deterring the youngsters today, or the new age musicians. So there's nothing like they don't want to experiment.
Right.
But I, per se, I don't know what people mean by experiment, with different genres. There is a song which I really love of, I think Benny did it, Ullu Ka Patha.
Oh, yes.
I just love that song. There are so many fantastic songs like that. I mean, without mixing genres or anything, what I love of either Hariharan or, Shankar Mahadevan or Shreya or Sonu or Ajit, Amit Trivedi. There's so many. Amit is fantastic.
Fantastic. He's very versatile.
Very, very versatile. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to meet him and get him to say yes to me for a song.
Definitely, ma'am. So, earlier this, you went viral with your own rendition of Miley Cyrus Flowers. And, the internet showered so much love and praise onto you.
Yes.
How overwhelmed were you to see that kind of wholesome comments that your cover received at that time?
Oh, I just loved it. I mean, with every comment, I always have tears in my eyes because it's something I never expected. I just did it because my daughter told me that it's a great song. And, it's because I believe that I Will Survive was the first original breakup song. I just thought this was such a, amazing song, for which I give another explanation, that everything doesn't mean, you can love me better, I can love me better. I don't believe that I can love me better. I end up the song with that saying, I don't believe that I can love me better. I want you to love me better.
Lovely. So finally, ma'am, what message do you want to convey to your fans who will be coming to watch your performance at NH7 Weekender?
Oh, I don't give messages, but definitely I will ask and request my audiences to please carry on giving me the kind of love and support and blessings, because they say, how can you ask for blessings from younger people? It's the younger people, it's the youth that give you the blessings, actually, to carry on in this way and carry on with the same kind of energy. So I would be requesting my audiences, please, without your support, I'm nothing. So please make it happen for me. One more time, this NH7 Weekender on the 15th. Be there.
Beautiful, ma'am. Beautiful. Thank you so much for your precious time, ma'am. It was such an honor for me to conduct this interview.
Thank you. And thank you so much.